Hey there, good afternoon friends. Welcome to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. And welcome back to Battle of the Bands. This is March 15th, day 15th, battle number 15. So I do apologize, this is much late in the afternoon. This was supposed to come out this morning, but I've had a massive headache since last night. And so I couldn't do it. I couldn't listen to anything until maybe about an hour or so ago. So I started listening to the two albums. It's around 3 o'clock or 3:30, and I'm actually a bit familiar with both both the guitar players on the albums. So, you know, I had a little bit of introspective on them, I guess you might want to say. So I do apologize that this will come out late, but it's going to come out as soon as I'm done with this video and upload it. So this is a battle that features Canadian band Frank Marino and his band Mahogany Rush. And the album is Power of Rock and Roll from 1981. And it's up against the Tempest and the self-titled album by the band. And this features Alan Holdsworth on guitar as well. So we got two pretty strong guitar players here. Very different styles though. Alan is very kind of bluesy and has a lot of really intricate guitar pieces, but exceptional, gifted guy. And Marino is very much a solo kind of metal guy. Or not metal, but really hard rock stuff. So we'll do the Marino album first. This is a heavy album, lots of heavy riffing, lots of heavy soloing. In fact, most of the tracks have lots of soloing. He's one of those musicians that likes to solo throughout the entire song on just about every track. There's a few tracks where he doesn't do it. I'm not a person that's really keen on that kind of sound, but I appreciate his ability. He is one of the fine guitar players out there. So, also, most of the tracks are pretty heavy. The vocals are pretty heavy as well. Just overall, a really strong kind of heavy album, I guess is maybe you want to put it as best you can. This is not heavy metal, but definitely really hard rock. Okay, so you've got a couple of the tracks. I think the back half of the album I liked a lot better. The first three tracks I was okay with. But all three had kind of heavy riffing and soloing, like I've said all along. A little bit of bluesy part and Play My Music. But just overall some catchy stuff. But then you get to the back half of the album. Excuse me. Which is, I think, better. The back half's much better. It starts with Crazy Miss Daisy. Well, Running Wild isn't too bad. It's kind of the final song on the first track. How do I say it? Running Wild, yeah. So Running Wild is kind of the good track on the first side of the album. My favorite track. I'm just going to lower this a bit because I'm a little bit further back than I want it to be because of my head and the sunlight's up there. Yeah, the particular thing about this track I liked is there wasn't nearly as much soloing on this track. There's some real heavy riffing, and after listening to the first three tracks and hearing a lot of soloing, it was kind of a pleasure for my brain to only hear just the riffing. The song that comes next, the first song on the second side, Crazy Miss Daisy. This is some real heavy riffing. This has almost a Hendrix-like sound to it. Crunching guitar riffs, and some great soloing towards the end, but definitely I felt that the Hendrix-like sound and the heavy guitar riffing really added to the overall pleasure. I enjoyed this song the most on the album. Go Strange, this is a very fast-paced guitar bit. The vocals are as well very fast-paced, and then there's the solo at the end. It's just insane. It just goes on forever, but it's like unbelievable solo. if you like a lot of soloing, this guy is up your alley. Like, he's just one of those guys who just loves to play solos constantly, and he's really good at it. So the next track, Young Man, kind of a heavy riff to it, more soloing. Vocals are heavy and deep. So this is kind of the first song where I noticed he has that kind of Kim Mitchell high-end sound to his voice, or I shouldn't say high-end, but it's definitely a Kim Mitchell sound to his voice. And then you have, when he gets gravelier, a little bit over the top within the voice, you get a kind of a Lemmy feel to his voice. So it's kind of a weird mix of Kim Mitchell and Lemmy here, but I hear bits of both of them on this track. Actually, very tasteful done track as well. The last song, Ain't Dead Yet, really heavy riffing. Another of that Kim Mitchell feel to his vocals. Not as there's no Lemmy here, but I feel like he's very Kim Mitchell-ish here on this song, and his voice, or whoever's singing this, really falls within that range quite a bit. So this is a really solid album, an album that I think will maybe grow on me, but may also be irritating. Sorry, I'm not the big fan of all that soloing, so. But I do appreciate his ability. He's much better than I remember him being when I was a teenager. Okay, the other album, The Tempest, a little more varied in its musicianship here. Yeah, there are some pretty heavy tracks here. Foyers of Fun, really heavy track. Parts of Dark Horse are pretty heavy as well. But there's also a bluesy element to that song, and then you get more songs on this album that have a bit of a bluesy element to their, a little bit more of a bluesy element to their sound, and then you have the last couple of tracks. I feel like they're, especially the last track, that there's a lot more jazziness to the album as well. So more hints of jazziness, more blues. Yeah, lots of different elements to their music. Of course, Alan Holdsworth is a fantastic guitar player. He does an acoustic bit on the opening of Gorgon, which is like, that's a more quiet song. The acoustic bit is really good with the synthesizer effect, really good. My favorite track is probably the second one, Foyers of Fun. Very heavy guitar and drum beat on this, Very fast. Guitar solo is really fast as well. And this song actually kind of reminds me a bit of Cream. There's a little bit of a Cream sound to this. I think it's the riffing kind of reminds me of that Sunshine of Your Love kind of riff that comes out of the Cream discography. Yeah, it reminds me of that a bit. And then you've got some faster paced songs like Brothers, real heavy drums. Vocals are strong on this as well. Vocals are strong on almost all the tunes. I think it's maybe one of the stronger parts of this album. There's a little bit of a scrapey bit to that last track, Uptown Tomorrow, and that violin kind of solo bit that they do on it is kind of makes it kind of that jazzy feel to it, I think. I like the twin vocals on Gray and Black. This is a more subdued song, but the twin vocal part is really nice. I don't know who the two vocalists are. I didn't examine it too closely. It's a pretty solid album. A lot more variations to it than the Frank Marino, which is just pretty much like power metaling or power hard rocking right from the beginning to the end. But overall, I would say the Frank Marino album is probably better. There are parts on Tempest I like quite a bit, but I think there's just more of those parts on Frank Marino's album. I think there's a lot more catchy riffs. The songs are more up-tempo, especially the back half of the album. So for today, I'm going to give this battle to Frank Marino, and Tempest is going to have to go by the wayside. But I still like it as well. So both albums are pretty solid. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like below and subscribe to the side there. And I do apologize again for the delay. Still got that headache, and it's just knocking me out a bit. So, but I still wanted to get it in, so it's in here. I hope you enjoy it, and we will see you tomorrow morning with another album. I think tomorrow's is the last of the first round battles. 2 more artists tomorrow, so then we go into the second round. So take care and enjoy your day. Take care. Bye.